Hi everyone, so today I have for you guys banana bread, and this is a recipe that I always use when I have overripe bananas I need to get rid of. So we're gonna get started. First you will need 2 to 3 bananas depending on how much you want to get rid of. I like my banana bread super banana-y, so 3 bananas. You're gonna need 2 eggs. I have here 3/4 cup of brown sugar. You can use half a cup of butter, or I did 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil, which is a better, healthier alternative. And then I also have 2 cups of flour. I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a pinch of salt. So let's get started. First, before I preheat my oven, I'm gonna be smashing my bananas. So the bananas, you can tell, are overripe. I don't really want to eat them. I could blend it into a smoothie, but I'm just gonna break it into little pieces. Now, once you have the bananas broken into these pieces, you're just gonna use a fork and start smashing. Since they are overripe, they should be fairly easy. So now I have the bananas completely smashed like so. Sometimes you can don't worry about smashing it completely. You can leave a little bit of chunk. So with the 2 cups of flour right here, I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. With 1 teaspoon of baking soda, if you don't have baking soda, you can also use 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That would work as well. And then a 4 teaspoon of salt. With any baking, you want a little bit of salt to bring out the flavors. I'm just going to use one spatula, kind of stir it up a bit to make sure that it's not only one chunk. I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm also we're going to take the brown sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And again, you can use half a cup of melted butter, but that's 1 whole stick of melted butter. Otherwise, you can use half a cup of coconut oil. I'm going to crack in the 2 eggs. You can also beat it in a bowl before you put it in as well, but this works just fine. You can also preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You will get this very gooey texture. Like so. This is kind of like baby food. Doesn't look too appealing, but once you have it all mixed together, everything kind of comes together. So now this is the last step. So I'm going to put this mixture into my flour mixture. And the trick here is not to over stir, because you do want it to be moist and you want it to be fairly uniform without chunks of flour, but at the same time you don't want to over mix it. This is like a chunky peanut butter texture, almost, you could say. I'm going to give it a few quick stirs. And then after this, you can actually use cupcake tins to make banana muffins. Or what I usually do is just use a loaf pan, which also works really well, depending on for what kind of occasion. So I think this is good. This is what you want. You don't see any more leftover flour. I'm going to be using a loaf for today, and I'm going to be spraying it with a little bit of oil. You can also use butter to go over it, or coconut oil as well. And we're pretty much done. Can you believe that? So all I'm going to do is dump this in the pan. And usually I don't mind the middle section being a little bit taller because then it will poof up. See? Perfect timing for the oven. Like so. So we're going to put this in the oven for 60 to 65 minutes. You can see the top is nice and brown. If you coated it with oil, it should come out fairly easily, like so. You can see this is very beautiful, nice and brown up top, cracked up top, which is completely fine, crispy around the edges. I'm gonna slice it down through the side. I should probably let this cool, but I just can't wait to try this. It looks so good. So proud of myself. And you would be proud of yourself too once you try this because it's so easy. And like I said, if you leave a little bit of chunks here and there, it actually melts inside and you get these little chunks which are delicious depending on what you like. Ooh, still hot, but I really want to try it. Mmm. Crispy up top. Got a little bit of bite of the banana. I like the contrasting texture. The top is a little bit more crispy, and then you reach the banana, which is a little bit more on the gooey side. And then the bread is very moist and chewy. Mmm, so good. I love the chunks of banana. Excuse me. I'm gonna put this in a bowl, top it off with a little bit of vanilla ice cream. Go check out the recipe that I have on my blog as well. I have the banana bread, which is using the butter recipe with pictures, and then I'll also have this one recipe as well using the coconut oil. So whichever way you prefer, the healthier version or the butter version, either way is fine. My first cooking video, so let me know if you want any recipes or anything else. I'm gonna make a no-knead bread next, and hopefully I'll get that video up in 2 to 3 days. Also planning on making some wontons, and usually I make Chinese food at home for dinner. So let me know if you guys have any requests and any comments, comments or any suggestions or anything to improve my videos. Thank you. Have a good one.